and are not deserving of a man of cloth. If I was a member of the Anglican Church, I would have filed for motion of no confidence on Archbishop Makgoba, who is factional, who has lost his morality, who has lost his ethics, who has gone all out to defend corruption and money laundering. A president who has admitted that I kept in my house $530,000. What more does Makgoba want? Because the president has said so himself, that he kept $530,000 in his house. Secondly, the president has said, I have not reported the stealing in my farm as required by PRECA, that more than 100,000 K, if stolen, must be reported to the Hawks. The president has admitted that. Makgoba says no, the man must stay. If he goes, there must be government of national unity. You see, Murutu wa Tsotsi maneuvering to protect a criminal. I've never seen such thing in my entire life. The whole council of churches, corrupt to the core, defending a criminal, man of cloth. Where are the other pastors who can rise on their own and say, don't say that in our name? Crime is crime. It doesn't matter who committed the crime. The man of cloth must always be on the side of the law, not on the side of criminals. Everybody who was claiming to be clean, who was claiming to be the defenders of the Constitution, today are defending the man against the Constitution. The whole Joel Nechitenze, an over-exaggerated intellectual who defends a criminal using tribalism. For the second time now, Ramaphosa said the July unrest was caused by the Zulus. Now Joel comes and says the defenders of the people who demand Ramaphosa to leave are Zulus. What do these two vendor men have against Zulus? What is this tribalism that these two vendor men are pushing in this country? They are provoking those Zulus when they are not doing anything. They have not done anything. The man is saying, look at the people who want Cyril to go. All of them come from one province where Zuma comes from. He thinks he's being intellectual as usual. But he's effectively saying, look at all these people are Zulus. Why is Joel and Cyril being allowed to perpetuate tribalism in this country? And these are the people who were told are the best of the best who will defend the Constitution. Why is Cyril, the man who were told is the one who drafted the Constitution, not being the first one to defend the same Constitution he drafted, the so-called best Constitution in the country, in the world? So I am happy that this moment has come to show to all of you that the road is not Zuma, the road is not Ramaphosa, the road is the whole entire ANC. As the EFF, we are very happy that the secret ballot is not provided. Nkosazana spoke on TV and said Cyril must go. Lindiwe Sisulu spoke on TV and said Cyril must go. Supra spoke and said Cyril must go. Tomorrow, let them go and raise their hands. They must not become peacetime heroes. They were talking on TV. Let the real truth prevail tomorrow. Let's see if they meant what they were saying on TV. Secret ballot for what? If they are for the Constitution, if they are for the rule of law, and they are not for the men, let tomorrow South Africa see who is on the side of the Constitution and who is on the side of an individual. We are happy with the decision of the Speaker not to grant the secret ballot. Tomorrow, we want to see all these crooks, or are they genuine or are they just speaking because there are cameras in front of them? They must raise hands, seated next to the man, seated next to their own colleagues and say, my conscience doesn't allow. And they must remember this. they are highly protected. Because the Constitutional Court said members of Parliament must vote according to their conscience, not according to their party mandate. When they are in there, they cease to be members of political parties, but they become representatives of the people of South Africa. So tomorrow, we are going to separate women from girls, boys from men. Let's go and see if all these things they were saying on national TV and Twitters and all of that, they will dare repeat it where it matters the most tomorrow in Parliament. Who takes Gwede Mantashe serious? Gwede has got a problem of Busasa. And there is no way Gwede will not defend Cyril, because he knows that if Cyril goes, he too goes, and he doesn't just go, he goes to prison. And the EFF will make sure that Gwede goes to prison. Because from now onwards, we are going to write to the NPA and tell us whether they are charging Gwede or they are not charging Gwede. And if they don't charge Gwede, we are going to prosecute Gwede privately through private prosecution. We don't understand why Gwede is not arrested until now, when there is clear evidence and undisputed again by Gwede himself. So we are going to pursue private prosecution for all those Busasa people. All of them. All of you here speak about ZULU and digital vibes. Even when the material evidence doesn't indicate anything for a man's involvement. Nothing. Right? There are people who are not disputing. Thabang Makwetla said he's waiting for invoice for how many years now? From Busasa. He hasn't paid. Nomvula Mkonyane ate the chickens. She had never disputed to have eaten the chickens from Busasa. Gwede Mantashe has never disputed that cameras were installed at this place. All of these people, they've got no defense, nothing, but you never mention them, that these are the beneficiaries of corruption. If anything, Gwede is being projected as fighting criminals who want to remove Cyril. A criminal. Gwede, a criminal. Fighting criminals. So it can't be correct. Stop being factional and be factual. The reality is that the digital vibes, evidence, is not overwhelming beyond the evidence against Gwede, against Nomvula, against Thabang Makwetla. Now, why are we being told here that DD can't be president of South Africa, that we must go to elections because we must avoid DD? DD is our deputy president as we speak. Are we saying that the office of the deputy president is useless to a point that it can be occupied by this man that you are also scared of today? It's not true. You are not scared of DD. The reality is that DD is not captured by the Oppenheimers and the Ruperts and all of them. And because they don't have the thinking thought of DD Mabuza, they project him as a criminal. I've said it here many times, that we were told DD is a murderer. We were told DD is a corrupt. None of those allegations were ever proven by anyone, not even prima facie evidence produced against DD. You are saying we must be scared of a man there's no evidence against, and cherish a man who has committed crime and we've got overwhelming evidence. This hypocrisy, it will not be sustainable under this democratic dispensation. So the fear-mongering, the scaremongering that we're having around DD, it is because the establishment has got no total control over DD. That's what we're suffering from. If DD is a murderer, why did your clean president appoint a murderer as a deputy? Because your president is a clean president, Ramaphosa. Why did he appoint a murderer as a deputy? If your president is so clean and he has won election on an anti-corruption ticket, why did he appoint DD as a deputy president if DD is corrupt? If DD is all these things that you are telling us, why did your clean president appoint him? There's nothing wrong with DD. And as a result, just be ready. Tighten your seat belt. It's unavoidable. We are likely to eat beetroots Christmas Day with DD as a president. As you are having your 7 colors, DD will be delivering a Christmas message. So this scaremongering will not work because there are no facts, none whatsoever, against DD. We must not be gullible all the time. When the Oppenheimers and the Ruperts speak, we must all be chasing after them. No. They just paint a man like that and leave him with a dark cloud. The man said, listen to the man of integrity. Listen to the man of integrity. DD said to the ANC, NEC, if I'm corrupt, if I'm a murderer, do not appoint me as deputy president. I don't want to be sworn in as a member of parliament. If you remember, SG, it took time for DD to be sworn in as a member of parliament. He refused. He said, he even went to the ethics committee of the ANC and said, charge me. What have I done? Only a man of integrity, a man of ethical leadership will do that. DD refused to be sworn in. DD refused to be a deputy president and said, if I am all what you are saying I am, let me stay at Lituli House. Why did they insist on appointing him? Where was Gwede, the clean Gwede, to stop DD from being sworn in? Where was Makgoba? Where was South African Council of Churches? Where were all these so clean people? When Cyril insisted on DD to be sworn in, why didn't they say, Cyril, our clean guy, do not appoint this guy? Why? The fact that DD is a deputy president of this country, it means he meets all the requirements to be the president. And nothing will stop him from being the president except the ANC itself, not this scaremongering. There is no any election that is going to be held here. We are going to election in 2024. Listen to all political parties and people who are funded by the Oppenheimers, all of them. Makgoba, DA, Herman Mashaba. They all read from the same script. Dissolve the government, go to an early election. You know why? Because Oppenheimer is the only person who's allowed to finance political parties in South Africa. He will give money to the DA, he will give money to Herman Mashaba, they will go to elections and defeat all of us because we don't have money. Oppenheimer gives political parties money, no one questions him, no one closes his bank accounts. But if a businessman was to finance the EFF and declare it publicly, he will have his bank account closed. Why? Because he financed a different political opinion. In South Africa, a different political opinion gets punished. You are not allowed to disagree. Everyone who disagreed in South Africa, their banks are closed, bank accounts are closed. Here is a money launderer here who has admitted to have kept cash in his home. Did ABSA close his bank account? Did FNB close Cyril Ramaphosa's bank account? Anyone who has ever mentioned about this or that corruption, without a proof, the banks have closed their accounts. Why are the Ramaphosa's bank accounts not closed? Ramaphosa's son admitted to have taken money from Busasa. His bank account is not closed. Why? Because he doesn't hold a different political opinion. In South Africa, you hold a different political opinion, the banks close your accounts. That's why we are calling for the transformation of the banks. That's why we are calling for the black ownership of the banks. Look at the banks. All black managers, DP, senior managers, are treated with suspicion. There's no senior bank manager in South Africa who's not treated with a suspicion and with disregard. Look at the African Bank today, which we said government must take over. Its management, very higher management, black. Because the impression is that when you are black, you are inherently incapacitated and corrupt. Black management of the African Bank, turning that bank around, declaring profits. We're not saying African Bank is transformed because they still do not finance the decisive interventions in the economy. But to have such management high, being black, is one step at the right direction. But I can tell you that if you go to African Bank, Standard Bank, or ABSA, any black manager is treated with suspicion. We have Standard Bank, very senior black managers there, treated with suspicion, always people casting aspersions on them because the banks have descended into the terrain and are fighting political battles. Why are the Ramaphosa's bank accounts still open, despite the fact that they've all admitted to have taken dirty money and corrupt money? If you are a member of the EFF, you are still banking with banks like ABSA or FNB. You are self-defeating. You are financing an anti-revolution. ABSA and FNB are at the center of anti-revolution in South Africa, and they must never be supported by any progressive South Africa. So we hold a view that as the EFF, we must fight tooth and nail to have a state-owned bank, to have a decisive intervention in the economy. I don't know which COPE statement, because I tried to call SG in the morning to check, or is it Madisha COPE or Terra COPE? I don't know which side it came from, that statement.
There were two fake statements even about us.
There were two fake statements about us. So yeah, because from where we are sitting, COPE has confirmed. Remember, guys, we were together at the Public Protector's office with COPE. So I don't understand what statement COPE released, because from where we're sitting, we're together with COPE. The ANC tomorrow must vote against the panel so that South Africa can see them for who they are. They are a bunch of corrupt people who have got no regard for the laws of South Africa. They've got no regard for the laws of South Africa. So the numbers look good. From where we're sitting, we've got no doubt. If the DA stop somersaulting and comes clear and says we're voting for the panel's report, all of the opposition is consolidated. And the ANC people who have come out openly, and others who have not gone to the media but have expressed it clearly to us, the numbers look proper. The report will be adopted tomorrow. The only thing these people of the ANC are amenable to, which is a problem to us, is that maybe if he resigns, we may vote against the report and just let him go. That's what they are saying. But if the man insists, he's going to be shocked tomorrow. For the sake of the unity of the ANC, if he loves the ANC, the best thing will be to resign, so that the ANC speaks in one voice. But if the man doesn't resign, tomorrow, through show of hands, the ANC people are going to vote with us. Our worry is not the ANC, our worry is the DA. Because the DA is pretending, blowing hot and cold, this and that. Remember, the DA did not submit anything to the Section 89 panel. And when the results were being announced, when the report was handed over, Steenhuisen said he's giving an educated guess. How can you give an educated guess when you're not educated? You know, illiterate people like throwing around some words they don't even understand their meaning. He says, I'm giving an educated guess. This report is going to be in favor of Ramaphosa. He never wanted this report to be what it is. they are highly, highly conflicted because the poster boy of their handlers has been found wanting. Once the DA comes, we're done. But even if the DA doesn't come, the people of South Africa will see the DA for what it is, that it defends corruption, it defends a man who was found with dollars, who has violated the laws of South Africa. What else? Huh?